This video provides a brief overview of submitting reporting through the Provider Operations Collection Form. For more detailed information, please refer to the Provider User Guide available on the Department of Health and Aged Care's website. When you log in to the Government Provider Management System, or GPMS, you will be taken to the GPMS homepage. Please note, if you are a GPMS Organisation Administrator, you will need to make sure that you correctly set up access and roles for people in your organisation who need to access the Provider Operations Collection Form. If you do not have access to GPMS or cannot see the Provider Operations Reporting tile, visit the Accessing the GPMS webpage on the Department of Health and Aged Care's website. When you select the Provider Operations Reporting tile in GPMS, you will be taken to the home page of Provider Operations Reporting. This page is called the Submission page. In this video, we will guide you through submitting a new submission. For this demo, we have started a collection form, and we will select Resume to continue. Please note, once you have started a collection form, you can save and close the form and resume at any time before the 31 October submission deadline. Whenever you enter a collection form, you will be taken to the privacy statement. Carefully review the privacy statement, then select Agree. This page is the first page of the collection form. It provides you with introductory information and links to the Provider Operations User Guide and Frequently Asked Questions resources. On the left-hand side of the collection form page is the navigation bar, which provides links to each section of the collection form and indicates your progress through each of the sections. You can move between sections in the navigation bar in any order, but you will not be able to submit your form until all sections are completed, which are indicated by a green tick. When you select Next, or Back, or Options in the navigation bar, the pages will automatically save the information that you have entered, provided that there are no errors on the page. Select Next to continue to the next page, Key Personnel. The Key Personnel section asks you to provide the details of Senior Executive Key Personnel. This section is specifically looking for details about key personnel that make executive decisions in your organisation and who are willing to have their name and role published on the My Aged Care website. We request the details of at least one person be provided. You may enter up to a maximum of 3 people's names and roles. You must gain consent from the person or people you are listing in this section. Once you have consent, select Yes to the privacy consent question. Once completed, select Next to save and continue. The Governing Body Membership section seeks details on the 2 new Governing Body membership requirements that came into effect on 1 December 2022, where the governing body must have a majority of independent non-executive members and there must be at least 1 member with experience in providing clinical care. All providers are required to complete this section of the collection form, even if the governing body requirements do not apply to them. Complete each of the questions by selecting Yes or No, and then once complete, please select Next to save and continue. This section requires an upload of a signed governing body statement which allows providers' governing bodies to demonstrate their understanding of and accountability for issues affecting the quality of care of aged care recipients. The governing body statement is to be accompanied by a declaration signed by a member of the approved provider's governing body on behalf of all members of the governing body for each provider that delivers a home care service or residential care service. The signed declaration is to be uploaded to this collection form for submission through GPMS. All parts in this initial section of the statement need to be completed by all residential care and home care providers. If your governing body member believes the organisation has complied with all of its responsibilities and requirements, download and print the statement for signature, and then upload a scanned version of the signed statement into this section of the collection form. Once uploaded, select Next to save and continue. This section seeks information on the diversity of your organisation's governing body. Consent from governing body members must first be obtained prior to reporting information on the diversity of the members. This information collected may be published on My Aged Care. Select one, some, or none of the following responses as appropriate for your organisation. Select Next to save and continue. This section seeks information about initiatives implemented at each residential service and home care service to support a diverse and inclusive environment. The collection form lists each service name and service ID that operated during the reporting period from 1 July 2022 to 30th June 2023. Click on each service to enter data about the initiatives implemented at that service to support a diverse and inclusive environment. Answer all questions for each residential and home care service in that reporting period with a developing, implemented, or no response. When the data has been entered for a service, a grey tick will be displayed against the service. Please select Save to regularly save your work as you progress. Once completed, please select Next to save and continue. For this section, for each service, providers are asked to report on the 3 most common kinds of positive feedback received about each service operated by the provider during the reporting period, the 3 most common kinds of complaints received about each service operated by the provider during the reporting period, and the 3 main kinds of improvements made in relation to the quality of the service during the reporting period. Providers may record their responses using the predetermined categories available, or have the opportunity to provide free text responses if the appropriate category is not listed in the drop-down. Free text responses throughout this collection form should not contain personal information of any individuals. Be sure to complete feedback, complaints, and improvements for each service during the reporting period. And please be sure to select Save Often to regularly save your work as you progress. Once fields are completed, select Next to continue. This is the final step where you submit your fully completed Provider Operations Collection Form to the Department of Health and Aged Care. Once submitted, you will not be able to go back and edit or review your responses within the collection form. You are encouraged to carefully check all the data entered prior to final submission. You must be the person authorized by the approved provider to submit the completed collection form. If you have not completed all sections in the form, you will see this left-hand navigation bar marked with red crosses. If any of the sections in the collection form are showing a red cross, please revisit them and complete the required information. Once you have completed and reviewed all sections in the collection form, as indicated by the green ticks in the navigation bar, and are ready to make the declaration and submit the form, select Agree and Submit. You will then receive an acknowledgement as a pop-up on your screen to let you know that your Provider Operations Collection Form has been successfully submitted.